All right. So, what do you believe that catch and release trout fishing is important?
Well, certainly catch and release trout fishing allows sport recreational fishermen to recycle, to use a fish, catch a fish, hook a fish more than once. And where it really benefits is we all want to catch big fish, and by and large the big mature fish are the ones that people think of as trophies, or the ones that they may want to mount or hang on their walls or whatever. Well, those are our breeding stock, and allowing those big mature fish, especially females, hens, to continue to grow to get to a mature age is what's going to help in spawning and natural reproduction in streams throughout the state or throughout the United States and the world. So, you know, by releasing those fish and letting them swim away, not only are you giving anglers a chance to catch those fish, but you're enhancing the future of fish as they grow and mature, become sexually active and dominant in a reproduction mode. That's what's going to happen to there. So, you know, again, it's like anything else, whether it's a hunting scenario or not, it's the females that are really the precious ones, the hens, if you will, that are there, because they're the ones that can lay so many eggs, and hopefully some of those will go. Catch and release fishing is very important in high fishing areas where there's a large population. You take like the Rogue, for instance. You know, if you start drawing outside the Rogue in Rockford, Michigan, is 10 minutes from 15 minutes from downtown Grand Rapids. Well, you look at the Grand Rapids metropolitan area, that's a lot of people. But all of a sudden you look at the Lansing area, the Kalamazoo metropolitan area, the Lakeshore. All of a sudden now we've got several million people that are within an hour's drive of that fishery. And if everybody took you know, their legal limit of fish out of the creek every day, pretty soon there wouldn't be a lot of fish left.
All right, thank you. So we're here on the Rogue River with Dave Lester. So Dave, what is your opinion on catch and release as far as trout fishing goes?
I like to do it. I mean, I have from time to time kept a trout for the pan, but for most of the time I just do it for pleasure. I use no hooks with no barbs and just release them as gently as I can, and they seem to survive. So I enjoy it. I think it's a fun way for recreation. There's nothing wrong with legally taking a trout for the pan. And,
no.
And like I say, I do that periodically, but tonight I'm just out here just for a couple hours. And
just enjoying the river.
Yeah, just enjoying being on the river. So.
Well, thank you. All right, we're out here with Gary. Now, Gary, what's your opinion on trout fishing and catch and release?
I prefer catch and release because it has the tendency to keep the fishery stocked. I don't mind if somebody wants to take a fish or two for a meal now and then, but for the most part, let them go.
Now, have you seen in streams, like, have you fished the flies only water, the Pere Marquette? Yep. Have you seen like a higher quality of fishing?
I think there is. I think there is. Places like the Rogue here, there's a lot of smaller fish because they do a lot of stocking. Where there's a lot of natural reproduction, there tends to be a better quality of fish.
All right, thank you. Well, John, what is your opinion on catch and release trout fishing?
Well, basically, that's all I do. There are big browns in here, and I've seen guys, you know, the worm fishermen, take them. But I'm a catch and release guy. I'm a lifetime member of the Trout Unlimited, and also I belong to the Grand River Fly Tyers.
Well, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Well, you know, the FFF, which is the Federation of Fly Fishers, their standard is catch and release. And so, you know, I'll have to support that. I typically, for myself, trout, I release every trout. They'll stock, right here, they'll stock 3,200 at this particular bridge. Yeah. And most of them are just little ones, but when you catch a big one, it's good to go by the standard that Lee Wolf had, and it's a shame just to catch a fish one time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the standard that I have. Of course, salmon in the Cold River fishery, they're done.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no reason to release them. So if you get a fresh one, you might as well eat it.
Yeah.
Steelhead, that's another story. You know, they'll come up, spawn, and go back, but I'll eat a steelhead.
Yeah.
So most fishermen that are members of the FFF aspire to catch and release, but typically for the average angler, fellow who likes bluegills, who likes perch,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, he's going to take some home for the pot. We have members of the club that typically take some home for the pot. And for myself, it would be different if I liked it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my opinion. I don't.